Okay, here's my persuasive speech. All right. All right, so the question is when it comes to the exceedingly growing concerns for college athletes and the way that the NCAA has a strict amateurism rule which forbids college athletes to be paid any type of salary or get any type of monetary compensation for college is a problem for student athletes because basically they do all this work for the college and everything, and all they get is the free tuition. There's billions of dollars that float around this industry and billions of dollars within this market that everybody's getting, the coaches, executives, all that, and the students are basically seeing nothing. See, the NCAA has a unique effect on the American economy in that it basically generates billions of dollars in an industry that takes advantage of the fact of all sports, including um, the revenue stream and everything from it. So ultimately, their entire program relies on the hard work, and veracity of their student athletes and their efforts. And most of them have a really legitimate cause for concern, particularly about their futures. Whenever they can no longer play for a college team or anything, and they can't play for the NFL or pro sports because less than 1% actually get picked. So everyone's cashing except for them because of NCAA there's no other way around the strict amateurism rule. So the best things for the Olympic model, which is the way Olympians get paid, and ultimately they're allowed to do outside endorsements. They don't actually get paid anything from the Olympics or the USA team. They get their money from outside endorsements, sponsors, everything like that. And that structure would be great for the solving the issue that we have right now with this problem. See, the profits and revenue streams they're growing larger and larger, and with all that media coverage and everything surrounding them, providing the best coverage to the market creates more of a competition as well, which creates more revenue between universities and everything, and they are able to cash in, and universities are able to be at the end of all these streams and basically cash in on every market within that market. And even according to a government census studies on the college athletes said that the NCAA and the revenue for the NCAA program exceeded $1 billion last year, and it was the highest grossing amateur sports program generated in 1 year, or amateur sports program generated of anything ever recorded in history. And they toned down their budget, obviously, for everything due to the COVID, but this has been an issue since long before that. So, and I happen to agree with their cause for concern as far as their policies and everything. I believe the Olympic model could provide at least some relief to, the boundaries and everything set by them. Even Dr. Richard Vedder, he's a professor of economics at Emeritus Ohio University. He said that, quote unquote, the unique model that would be illegal in many sports of the economy. It is a unique model that would be illegal in any other sport in the economy. And in the 2014 ruling of, it's called Bannon versus NCAA District Court ruled that the NCAA violated antitrust laws by barring payments and everything to athletes for using products and everything to sell for them, and using the likeness of athletes, which is the main problem because people, a lot of times, especially in college sports, they're paying for personality and everything. So that funding was deferred, and I think they were fined for their use of that material. Also, the University Houston professor, also a University of Houston professor, also has written a speech on the sociology of the NCAA, and he says, first of all, the NCAA can get rid of a legal problem, and they can simultaneously contain and rid a moral problem. The players get rid of part of the players can get rid of part of the economic problem, and even an equal rights problem, if they fight hard to maintain a strong educational model, whereas outside they can be paid as opposed to not being able to collect any monetary compensation and having the hope to go pro. So ultimately, even other college students agree that there should be no restrictions as far as how these athletes should be paid and everything. Um, even so obviously it's clear that the NCAA and they're not like NCAA is not like any other program. The way that they sort of dictate how these athletes get paid and everything. But if we adopt the model, the Olympic model, which allows them, it can very well be the underlying solution to this potentially explosive problem that could infect the entire structure of division sports here on out if different schools start to adopt different policies. And it could actually change the way college sports are played and structured. And that's all I got. Thanks.